find him in the club. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're learning more about the life and career of 50 Cent. Curtis James Jackson III was born July 6, 1975, in Queens, New York. His single teenage mother raised him until her death in 1983, when the 8-year-old went to live with relatives. During this turbulent period, Jackson split his time between boxing and selling drugs. Following his arrest for bringing drugs to school, he was sent to a correctional boot camp. Shortly thereafter, he assumed the alias 50 Cent. In the mid-90s, 50 Cent met Run DMC's Jam Master Jay, and under his tutelage learned the basics of songwriting. After recording several tracks, 50 Cent was officially introduced to the public when he appeared on Onyx's 1998 single, React. By decade's end, he was signed to Columbia Records and working on his solo debut. 50 Cent immediately started making a name for himself with the gangster rap track How to Rob. While critics praised its wittiness, the single also elicited negative feedback from rappers who were referenced in the song. Things took a turn for the worse in 2000. 50 was attacked and shot 9 times, but miraculously he survived to make a full recovery. While in the hospital, he got more bad news. After the song Ghetto Quran leaked from his yet-to-be-released Power of the Dollar album, 50 Cent was let go from his label before the record could drop. Not only that, because he called out several influential drug traffickers in the song, 50 Cent was boycotted by the American recording industry. He then went to Canada to focus on making mixtapes. People took notice of 50 Cent once he released the Guess Who's Back compilation, and his first mixtape with his hip-hop group G-Unit, 50 Cent Is the Future. His luck improved further when Eminem heard one of his tapes and helped him land a record deal. What followed was 50's second mixtape, No Mercy, No Fear, as well as a top 20 single from the 8 Mile soundtrack. Nothing, we said you a winkster, and you need to stop frontin'. You go to the dealership, but you never cop nothing. You've been hustling a long time, and you ain't got nothing. In 2003, 50 Cent's solo debut, Get Rich or Die Tryin', became an instant classic. Still have love for me. If I fell off tomorrow, would you still love me? If I didn't smell so good, would you still hug me? Adored by fans and hailed by critics, it premiered at the top of the Billboard 200 and sold over 800,000 copies in its first 4 days. The hip-hop album produced 2 chart-topping hits and a number 3 single. Later that year, 50 Cent founded G-Unit Records and signed his G-Unit crew, including Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, and Young Buck, to the imprint. 2005's The Massacre was another hit and sold over 1 million copies in its first week. The Grammy-nominated disc sat atop the Billboard 200 for an impressive 6 weeks and spawned his third #1 smash. I take you to the candy shop. I let you the lollipop. Go ahead, girl, don't you stop. Keep going till you hit the spot. Whoa. The arrival of 50's third album coincided with the release of Kanye West's third effort. The two rappers engaged in a sales competition, leading to the 2007 release date. 50 don't back down. But 50 Cent lost when Curtis landed at #2 behind Graduation. 50's album sold over 200,000 fewer copies than his rivals, but it did include a top 5 single. She work girl, she work the pole, she break it down, she take it low, she fine as hell, she bout the dough, she doing a thing out on the floor. Unfortunately, 50 Cent's album sales continued declining. 2009's Before I Self-Destruct sold a meager 160,000 copies in its first week, despite hitting the 5th position on the charts. Have a baby by me, baby. Be a millionaire. Be a millionaire. Be a millionaire. Have a baby by me, baby. Be a millionaire. Meanwhile, 50 Cent was working on the dance-inspired record Black Magic, but decided to shelve the project. He returned to his hip-hop roots, and after many delays, 5 Murder by Numbers was finally scheduled for a 2012 street date. We do what you gotta do. We do what we wanna do. Yeah, outlaw, yeah, we lawless.
We ballin' out, yeah, regardless.
Outside music, 50 Cent became an entrepreneur by starting his own clothing company, book imprint, reality show, and 2 film production companies.
Well, you're dealing with a whole nother level of businessman now.
On top of several voiceover roles on TV and in video games,
You're right, the more you know, the further you go. And that's when to grow on. Does that count as community service?
No.
Alright, take me to the park. We'll pick up some dog poop.
he carved himself an acting career in films like Get Rich or Die Tryin', Righteous Kill, Streets of Blood, and All Things Fall Apart, though many of his movies tanked.
I'm a gangster, Grandpa, and I'm proud of it.
You son of a...
50 Cent's musical ability was crafted on the streets and honed in the studio.
Look, baby, this is simple, you can't see. You rollin' with me, you rollin' with a P-I-M-P.
His dedication to being the best has never waned. Despite the feuds he's had with different artists, we love 50 Cent like a fat kid loved cake.
You've been hustling a long time and you ain't got nothing. Damn.